on. The mother of Tabitha Trescott, a victim in a double homicide in Hanska, says her family is asking for the trial to be moved out of Brown County.
Evan Berg spoke with Terri Smith at her home in Madelia about her concerns and her thoughts on the case so far.
There's no words can say how I feel. Nobody could understand.
On November 2nd, 2025, Terri Smith's daughter, Tabitha Trescott, was fatally shot alongside her partner, Justin Reinartz. Smith's grandson told police Tabitha's ex-boyfriend, Randy Thomas Zimmerman, had broken in and shot the couple.
I would love to see this case transferred to a different county, to a different judge, because it is such a conflict of interest.
Zimmerman is facing 9 charges, including first-degree murder, burglary, and second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon. The judge presiding at Zimmerman's trial, Robert Aidan Doherty, had previously represented Zimmerman in a 2002 third-degree assault case and for a second-degree DWI in 2004. That has Terri Smith calling for a change.
The monster that took my daughter and Justin, he was his defense attorney a few times.
Smith says she is concerned about the fact Doherty wouldn't recuse himself. She says in the 8 months leading up to her daughter's death, Zimmerman had been stalking and harassing Trescott. She says their previous attempts to get local authorities involved have her skeptical that Doherty would remain impartial.
She would try to stay away from her house. She was afraid to go home. She would be sleeping at night. He would walk in, she would wake up and he would be standing over her bed.
Smith says she is currently working with organizations like Violence Free Minnesota and CADA to push for the trial's relocation and for stronger legislation to punish domestic violence from repeat offenders. She hopes their efforts can set an example for other victims.
If you know something is wrong in the legal system, stand up and fight, because the only people that can do that are us victims.
In Madelia, Evan Berg, KEYC News Now.
We reached out to the county for comment about the potential conflict of interest with the judge and his thoughts on it, but have yet to hear a response.